So here we are, the second part of the video, that should have been one. But you know what happened. Yeah. Anyway, now that the new content is here, let's see what it may feature. Hopefully it can't be that mediocre. Yeah, what the fuck. So I'll break this video down into separate parts, so, if you haven't watched the first video I made about 1999, it explains my thoughts in the first half, so I suggest checking it out if you want to be caught up. Anyway, let's get into the video. So everything that should have come in the initial part of the update, has arrived. Great! You say to yourself, viewer, but boy do I have news for you, that shit was not good. Now you might be wondering, well midirstormcat, how was this delayed part of the update not good? Well, for starters, let's talk about the section of this video which is the new game mode. The new game mode, which is basically defense but with 3 waves, is trash and recycled. Crazy, I know, but you know how it is now with quote, new content and surprise surprise, it's never new content. Anyway, you start off the mission with the new warframe called Temple on a stage playing his music, and Temple is gonna be your objective to defend. Now all this is just defense with less waves followed by weak ass enemies. What a mix already, not gonna lie. This shit was not fun, and this is from the day 1 experience. The enemies don't spawn properly. It's full of bugs, and it's fucking defense which is boring as fuck. And the funny part is, they tried selling this game mode as new, which is crazy as fuck. This game mode was not worth no fucking delay in any universe, and I would have waited even longer, preferably if they just fucking released actually good game modes and not this shit. So skipping the let's say I play through all 3 waves to defend Temple, the rewards gotta be good, right? They're fine. Though again, the percentages aren't too good, and this is like the only way to get the new warframe Temple and his new weapons outside of just buying it. But you can always get that pity system currency and buy it from the proto-frame Temple in the frame itself. There's nothing wrong with that system, so I'll say nothing about that. But, to summarize the game mode, defend Temple for 3 waves, extract when you want to. Now to really rip into this content, this game mode is extremely uninteresting and doesn't do anything unique, and the rewards in the ABC rotations have horrid percentages, especially Temple's parts. The game mode itself is ridiculously boring, and playing this on loop is the least fun thing to fucking do in the game. Other than sitting in regions chat and seeing the same unfunny jokes in loop, and the fact this game mode, which I am repeating from earlier because it needs to be ingrained into your head, has so many anti-gameplay bugs that it makes enjoying this specific content extremely fucking difficult. It's as bad as Railjack's fucking launch, which is something that was so bad it is literally infamous for ruining Railjack's rep forever and marking the worst launch of an update, within Warframe. And Temple playing constant music is not saving this sad game mode. Yeah, this game mode is getting a fat 0 out of 10. No questions asked. Oh, and just one more thing, the guns you earn from here are not too bad, but they give off. I'm gonna use you for a second and then never use you again. That section of the video is just the start of how negative this review is going to be on this delayed part, because me personally, did not think the wait was all that. Our next topic will be the proto-frames. Proto-frames in this update are separate from the hex it appears, they have their own unique storyline, and to me, this stuff is not for me. I still have yet to buy a proto-frame personally, as the whole gimmick is just not it. However, this round of proto-frames was not it, especially the story for them. Nova just being there, Temple's proto-frame just being braindead, so I play for them. And Saren and Frost going through their divorce arc is just meh. I'm not gonna lie, these stories have never been that good. Moving on to a different aspect about them. Their designs for this round are actually terrible. There is no defending any of them other than Frost. The way Frost looks is probably the cleanest and just good looking one. The next proto-frame I'll talk about is Nova, and Nova's design, yeah, just throw her ass into the trash. In what world does any of her stuff mix? Like, I am so serious. Nothing in her fit goes well together, and it's just a weird core thing followed by little corny stickers on her. It's horrible, and don't get me started on the voice lines for her, it's so corny and bad, god I cannot stand her. Like, why is she so specifically corny? And let me get back to the designs for the rest. Temple's outfit is literally the base version of a temple with a glam rock human head. Saren is just kinda not very unique, it's just some old head MILF with nothing really changed about her design. She's just a Saren with barely any design. And Frost. Frost looks unique in a good way, unlike Nova, it's not overdone in my opinion, if anything. His design feels like a great blend of what he's going for, which I am not too sure what you would call his style, but he's just perfect. One more thing I want to cover on them are their animation emotes. They are absolutely nothing to write home about and all of them are strangely shit. Nova's animation is probably the only good one, so good for her. Okay, to summarize my thoughts, this batch of proto-frames were dreadfully lacking and are not that interesting. Everything about most of them are not good and or could be so much better, so, to rate this whole section of the update it's getting a 2 out of 10. I feel it gets this rating of how lacking the designs for the proto-frames were, as proto-frames are quite literally carried by their designs in the first place. For example, Aoi. She may be just a mag, but you can see the unique little things that make her look different to the basic mag skin, unlike Temple and the other proto-frames except Frost. They just are missing that about them, and also, a good portion of their line are just really corny and uninteresting, which is why they get the rating they deserve. Gosh, this video is long, especially editing wise. Now you might have noticed something missing, which is Ada, but honestly you know what I'm gonna say about it. It's Ada and not new, and Ada is boring and restrictive. I will never like it 0 out of 10. Now to the part we are really all here for what might have kept you watching for so long, the very thing that was delayed by infested liches. The infested liches follow the same line as the other liches present with the game. You acquire them via a specific thing. You then kill it with specific mods, or so you may think. Digital Extremes completely dropped the ball with the way they do it. Instead of just being able to use normal Requiem mods, you have to now get completely separate mods that may vary with how often you get them, because you get them from bounties. Yes, the thing nobody actually likes, that's how you get them. And what's worse, the objective you may need to do within that bounty may make it incredibly difficult for no reason, like get high ground then kill an enemy 75 times within a hell scrub. It shouldn't even be hard, but it oddly is, because one that the challenge didn't even register even though I noticeably had high ground for some reason, and you can't even wall grab and do it like that. What also doesn't help is the way the enemies function, which is constantly running towards you, and honestly it might just be me, but they run up so fast and make that challenge specifically worse to do. Also, these missions are on a 1-hour cycle and switch between Hell Scrub and Legacite Harvest. The meta here is ignore Legacite Harvest, as the challenge for that specifically will make you stay in that mission for at least 10 minutes plus, while Hell Scrub might have a shitty high ground challenge but will usually have the other challenge, which is destroy 100 objects, or 75. Luckily this is easy and objects are literally everywhere in the tile set and you just have to be there for only 5 minutes. So, acquisition of these mods are not looking very good. It honestly needs adjustment, especially some of the challenges like having to do 5 legacites to be able to extract in the high ground challenge, feeling rather inconsistent and buggy. But, maybe there's a benefit. Perhaps the liches aren't overly changed, right? Oh, they have changed, and for the worse. Instead of being the system it was originally, it's now a butchered mess of what it initially was. Instead of the old system, it's now just stab until the person is 100, which is like stabbing it with the correct order basically. Now the other new thing about them is you don't even need the correct mod to get that specific bar higher, but you won't be able to transfer the fight to Railjack. Instead you'll be able to equip 3 mods like the old system and then some more called antigens. Antigens just speed up things and make your stab progress go to 15%, because not gonna lie, 5% is pretty damn slow. However, they only trigger when you know the correct mod, and holy shit, with the way you normally acquire the antivirus mods you're actually going to be praying you get that shit first try, because it actually drives you insane. And there's one antigen mod that can make you drop a mod when someone or you stabs your lich, but the percentage ain't even that high. Alrighty, this loop is horrible in my opinion, and yeah, you could trade for the mod you may need, but I'm not involving that in this. This is more like how annoying it would be to get the stuff without trading, which is pretty terrible by the way. Oh well, maybe the way you lure a lich out is the same? It luckily is. Unfortunately it's only in 1999 nodes, meaning that you will be doing the same uninteresting game modes on loop. And with how small 1999's nodes are, it will get told very fast at the benefit of the Alex spawning in more frequently. Let's talk about how it's like fighting them. They are all different in a way and cannot get a progenitor. I will brush up on it later. but, depending on the ones you get, they will have unique actions they will do to attack you which are nice to look at. Some of them are just a cheesy one-shot due to toxin procs. Otherwise it's like any other lich fight. Also, your set which will always be in duos, which is very cool, but they are still stupidly easy and not hard to kill, which honestly makes this so fucking boring. Also, there's no murmurs of any sort, meaning it's just straight play the mission with no special enemies and that are capped level of 65 and never to 100 or higher. Wow, Digital Extremes really loves making shit so fucking boring when it should honestly be fun. So back to that progenitor thing, the reason it doesn't even matter is because 1. The liches don't even carry the weapons, they drop a special currency for you to buy weapons at Helena, meaning you get a random progenitor outside your choice. Wow! Just typing this out actually pisses me off, because what the fuck, Digital Extremes? How do you even make this trash ass decision? And not to mention, you have to wait a whole week for the weapon you wanted and you can only buy one per week. Yeah, people defending that BS are actually on copium and need to be lashed high key. Anyway, skipping that side rant. Once you stab the lich to the point of the bar becoming 100%, you'll unlock the railjack section, and to put it into words, it's honestly not too bad actually. See, I'm kinda biased and love railjack, but out of all the lich confrontations, this one is honestly the best one and is really fun. I wish, however, they put in infested ship fighters kinda like Scarlet Spear and the sentient ship fighters. But one can only dream. Anyway, you fly your railjack towards the other infested party railjack, but speakers will be stopping you, so you'll fly to them, stop, then kill the infested boarders that raid your ship and destroy the hives, then shoot the speakers with your railjack. Repeat 2 times and now you'll get to the main event. The railjack that you board is just really cool looking, and honestly the designs seem to be like the only good thing you can do, because skipping the irrelevant thing you have to do in the railjack to fight the lich, you'll meet all of the members straight then and there. I'm gonna try and summarize the fight and then say why it's trash. The fight begins with a cutscene that's pretty cool, I can't lie. Next is a quick head clear section before they jump in and attack you. You'll have to attack all of the liches due to them having a shared health pool together. So you'll bring all the liches to 0, then it's gonna reset and you'll be down the first health pool. You'll repeat the cycle of this while waiting for them to appear again, and while you are waiting, you'll be having lights fly everywhere capable of pricing magnetic and doing insane damage. Also, while waiting, toxin procs randomly are thrown out by one of the liches and you can easily be one-shot, unfortunately making this fight kinda limited on warframe choice-wise, as survivability is important here. Anyway, repeat the first phase of this fight, but now you get to decide if you want to save your lich or kill it. Let's assume you kill it. The same boring animation that plays when you find the correct mod will play, and now you're done. Cue the corny ass line Cephalons I will say, and get that currency to buy the weapon of your choice. Okay, this part of the lich fight was enjoyable-ish, and this whole thing in defeating the liches, I say this is quite literally everything outside the railjack part, is some of the most brain-dead shit you could possibly do. Repeating the same missions over and over just to hope to get one mod right is not fun. The way they made this system is just a humongous downgrade to the original system, which is insane. How do you even do that? And not to mention the fact you can even put a progenitor on the weapons is miserable, and what's worse, is the weapons are exclusively Mr. 17 locked, meaning bots that are so excited to use these weapons are going to be extremely disappointed when they realize most of these weapons are actually trash. Especially the Toby. How does Digital Extremes make such a shitty melee even worse? God, I actually hate this update and the DEJIC riders that defend this stuff. Also, the ephemera gained from the liches are ugly and mid, and you can't tell me otherwise. The sister of parvos and liches have so much more customization compared to this in an actual cool gimmick. And something that really pissed me the fuck off was the way they changed the mod acquisition. You never needed to do any of that shit ever. Let's get to rating the infested lich section. It's getting a 2. The weapons you even get from them have small increases compared to the base weapons, as pointed out by many other people in the community, and dude, I am not going to do these missions on loop. They aren't fun and are lacking in that aspect. To summarize, this section gets a rating due to poor gameplay loop, the weapons feeling extremely unchanged from the base versions, and the ephemera is also being really ugly and not fitting much of the infested aesthetic. Also, the mods being obtained the way they are doesn't help this fucking update either. Nobody likes doing those bounties and they need change, which of course Digital Extremes will never get to. The only thing keeping this part of the update from being a 0 is the new weapons actually being good and having fun gimmicks compared to the reissued weapons with the coded thing on them. Now the 1999 is finally released in all its parts. It honestly deserves to be harshly spoken of, because why the fuck was this shit deleted? Oh well, only Rebecca knows with all her moronic thinking. This video took forever to edit, and I am so happy I am done with this video, because now I can finally put my thoughts out. To you viewer who hopefully watched towards the end, thanks for stopping by. My next video I'm thinking of is talking about why Warframe's events were so odd in a conclusion of 1999. Have a good day, or don't. Choice is yours. And never forget, Rebecca is overseeing these poor decisions and allowing for this trash to go out.